Step into the briefing room with me today as we dissect a case that defies explanation. Because the latest evidence crossing my desk completely shatters everything we thought we knew. Our active profiling of the tragic Lynette Hooker homicide has just been hit by a massive federal bombshell, completely dismantling every single piece of our established timeline. Federal agents have bypassed the ocean-based theories and pivoted their focus back onto dry land, recovering a chilling piece of surveillance video recorded on American soil before the suspect ever departed. Behavioral analysts are now classifying this as a premeditated international homicide. But from an investigative standpoint, that is not the most alarming discovery. The highly disturbing reality is that federal authorities just dispatched a specialized tactical cutter straight into the local harbor, deploying a specialized forensic cadaver dog named Maggie directly to the exact point where this nightmare began.
Why did a dream vacation culminate in
forensic technicians sweeping the shoreline for traces of biological evidence? To follow this unfolding case file, subscribe to our updates, drop your analysis below, and stay with us as we dig deeper. Let us examine the facts. Federal investigators have systematically dismantled the official alibi of a tragic maritime accident, exposing a dark truth that defies all logic. Journalist Brian Enton recently confirmed a major evidentiary breakthrough. Federal agents are aggressively tracking down and analyzing digital footage, captured before the couple ever set foot in the Bahamas. Let us analyze the sheer weight of this fact. Standard maritime accidents do not require onshore pre-departure profiling. By tracing steps back to their primary residence in Michigan, the FBI is building a case for cold-blooded premeditation. The behavioral profile suggests the victim's trap was sprung long before she ever reached the water. What critical leverage was caught on those initial recordings? Were behavioral red flags systematically ignored? The dangerous domestic environment inside that residence is corroborated by a highly credible witness statement. Witness Jordan Plentz, who lived directly across from their Sand Lake bungalow, provided a devastating formal statement to the Detroit News. She confirmed that the mother, who shared the residence, explicitly detailed a history of severe domestic violence. The witness admitted Lynette's sudden disappearance came as no surprise. As an investigator, it is profoundly infuriating to see the victim's mother forced to witness this escalating terror. Why did the suspect attempt to frame this as an unavoidable maritime disaster? Publicly, he cited hostile environmental factors, current and wind, to explain their separation. Yet private correspondence obtained by CBS News tells a different story, revealing a conflicting claim that Lynette was actually swimming toward the shoreline. Why alter his timeline so drastically? If the incident was accidental, why fabricate stories to close associates? Here is where you and I watch the trap tighten through a recorded voicemail that completely dismantles his official defense. This is where calculated staging becomes clear. Honestly, this level of deception makes my blood boil. A recently leaked audio recording from April 6th, just 2 days after Lynette vanished, provides a critical piece of evidence. On that tape, Brian Stevenson caught Brian Hooker spinning a massive, fatal contradiction. Hooker explicitly stated, "The dinghy key was not attached to me." Why does that single sentence completely shatter his entire defense? Let's look closer. Because in his formal statement to the Bahamian police, Hooker claimed that Lynette was wearing the engine safety lanyard on her wrist when she fell, killing the motor and leaving him stranded. But his own recorded admission traps him entirely. From a behavioral perspective, hearing a husband casually manipulate the details of his wife's disappearance is deeply chilling. We have to ask ourselves, what was he trying to hide by shifting the blame? The case becomes even more troubling when we analyze the family dynamic. Lynette's daughter, Carly Ellsworth, spoke directly with journalists and completely dismantled his alibi. She made it clear that her mother never drove that dinghy,
never operated the vessel, and would never have held that key in the first place.
Imagine the profound grief and betrayal that Carly is forced to endure. She is fighting through a complex web of calculated lies to find truth for her missing mother. Meanwhile, federal investigators were already analyzing a critical piece of high-tech thermal data that Hooker never expected them to find. What if the most damning evidence was not what Hooker said, but rather what the vessel itself recorded in the pitch black of night? This is where our investigation pivots to pure forensic science, and the findings are absolutely chilling. According to detailed investigative files from the maritime team at the Nassau Guardian, the yacht, Soulmate, was equipped with an advanced FLIR thermal imaging camera system, valued at over $33,000. This is no ordinary camera. It maps precise thermal signatures in pitch darkness. Our digital forensics team revealed the system automatically uploaded encrypted tracking data to a cloud account. Now, federal agents are executing international legal instruments to unlock that secure digital vault. From an investigative perspective, the walls are rapidly closing in. But here is where the evidence takes a sinister turn. Security footage retrieved from a neighboring vessel captured a highly anomalous event. At exactly 7:47 p.m., a mere 17 minutes after the couple departed the Abaco Inn, a sudden, blinding flash of light erupted directly from the Soulmate. Why would such a massive flash occur out on the dark water? Later that night, right around midnight, surveillance captured a second highly unusual event near the boat. It leaves us with a profound sense of dread, realizing that while the world slept, a silent, horrific nightmare was actively unfolding in the dark. As investigators, we must ask, was this flash a signal, an altercation, or the precise moment a life ended? Federal agents are cross-referencing these precise timestamps directly with the cloud data. But the discovery made when they physically seized the smaller vessel shifts the entire legal trajectory of this case. Once forensic investigators finally secured and examined the smaller dinghy, the physical evidence recovered blew the entire homicide investigation wide open. When Detroit media reported that investigators seized the watercraft, the clock began to tick. And forensic analysis proved the safety kill switch lanyard was deliberately sliced. Let us analyze exactly what that means. Brian's entire defense rested on the claim that Lynette accidentally pulled that safety cord when she fell, disabling the engine and leaving him stranded. But the physical evidence proves the cord was sliced clean by a sharp blade. Why would anyone disable a critical safety device in the middle of a life-threatening emergency? As an investigator, this level of calculated deception is incredibly chilling. It reveals a highly methodical and cold-blooded cover-up in progress. Now, you and I must look at where the legal battle stands as the tension reaches a breaking point. Federal prosecutors have officially convened a grand jury in Michigan to examine the mounting evidence. And federal agents have already served subpoenas to key individuals close to the family. The tactical meaning here is clear. The government is no longer treating this as a simple missing person case. They are systematically building a criminal homicide case on American soil. Investigators are backing him into a corner using undeniable thermal data, his recorded inconsistencies, and that sliced safety lanyard. Where does our investigation stand today? Brian Hooker remains free for now, shielded by high-priced defense attorneys, while Lynette's family remains trapped in a nightmare of unresolved grief and unanswered questions. As an investigator, it is devastating to watch a victim like Lynette vanish without a trace, while her partner, who vowed to protect her, refuses to cooperate with our investigation. But forensic science does not lie, and the truth is finally forcing its way to light. Which piece of evidence do you find the most damning in our analysis today? Share your professional theories on this case in the comments below. Because public awareness is vital in our search for absolute justice. As we conclude today's forensic briefing, we are forced to confront the dark psychological depth of this betrayal. When the gears of justice grind agonizingly slowly, we must ask what it says about our world when a mother, daughter, and friend can vanish under calculated lies. Lynette Hooker deserves to be recovered. And until she is, this active file will remain wide open.